Hi there, it's Debbie LaChusa, the business stylist, and I'm coming to you today from my desk in my home office. And I want to talk to you about branding and the international implications. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I've had quite a bit of personal experience with brand infringement across the sea. So in the US, when we create a brand name and we want to protect it, we go through a trademark process, which basically puts people on alert that that name has been trademarked, that it's being used, and it's off limits for anybody in the same or similar type of business. That's how you make sure that somebody else doesn't come along and start using your brand name. You go through the process of trademarking it. Yes, it takes time, it costs money, but if you have a name that you love, that you are spending money marketing and want to become known by, it's an important step to take. One of the challenges in our global economy is that we are all doing business online these days. And it used to be that if you were doing business in a city or a state or a country, you could protect your name and you were only doing business in that immediate geographic region. So if someone else outside that geographic region started using the brand name, there was no overlap. It didn't affect you. So if I'm in California and I'm only marketing to people in California and somebody opens up a business in New York under the same name and they're only doing business with people in New York, there really isn't a problem. But these days, with everybody having a website, a lot of people having blogs, people having all kinds of social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest pages, Google Plus accounts, YouTube channels, you name it. People start using brand names on all of those online entities, and those online entities reach people globally. A lot of service professionals, myself included, serve clients globally. I have clients all around the world because my business is primarily over the phone and on the internet. So I don't need to be in the same geographic location. This complicates matters when it comes to brand names because now someone doing business in New York, suddenly if they're doing the same type of business and using the same name, that's a problem. Someone doing business in the UK or in Canada or Australia, that's a problem as well, especially if it's a similar business and they're using the same name. The problem is with the internet and the laws, it's a little dicey because does a US trademark or a foreign trademark apply in another country? And if you do some research on this or talk to an attorney, and I've done both because I've had some issues in this area, it's a bit of a slippery slope. But there is an act called the Lanham Act that sets a precedent. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I'm just sharing what I've learned. It sets a precedent that if someone is doing business and has established a trademarked, not even necessarily trademarked, but a brand name, they're doing business and they're reaching other countries and they're established, and someone in one of those other countries decides to set up shop and start using that same name, that the original name holder can defend that trademark, even if they only hold a US trademark. Now again, this is going to be played out on a case-by-case basis, but there is precedent with the Lanham Act that did support a business owner in a situation similar to this. So what do you do if you're a service professional and you don't want to tread into these international trademark brand infringement waters? Well, you do your research, and I've shared that simple research in plenty of other places, in blog posts and in other videos. It's free, it's easy. You can find out if anybody around the world is using your brand name before you start using it, and just don't use it. Go back to the drawing board and find a new name. If you can also monitor your name, which you should once you have it, very easily through Google Alerts and online searches, or you can even hire a trademark monitoring service to monitor your brand name to find if other people start using your name. And if they happen to be overseas, you can still ask them to stop. Is it going to be simple and easy, and are they all going to comply? I can tell you from personal experience, the answer is no. I think a lot of times the people will fight back and they'll say they're in another country and they're serving different clients. But the reality is, in most cases, there will be confusion. We are all reaching people all around the world, and there may be some cases where that's not the case, where it's a local business. But if they're marketing online and reaching people in the US and you hold the brand trademark in the US, you have a pretty strong leg to stand on. The challenge for most service professionals is we don't have deep pockets to go fighting legal battles, nor do we want to occupy our time fighting legal battles. We want to spend our time serving our clients and building our business. And so my plea to everyone out there is to act in good faith and to do your research before you adopt a brand name. And if someone contacts you and says, you're using my brand name, no matter where they are, if it was your mistake, you didn't do your research, or you didn't know about them and they've been using it longer than you, honor that request. It can be an expensive lesson, but put yourself in their shoes and think about, how would I feel if I had invested a lot of time and money and energy in establishing brand awareness and someone came along and started using the same name? Probably wouldn't feel too good. So, it's kind of like treat others as you would want to be treated. Be aware that it's a bit of a slippery slope when it comes to international trademark upholding. Any attorney will tell you that. Any Google search online is going to bring back all kinds of, it's a little dicey, but there is precedent. So again, do your homework, do it right, and honor people who are just like you, whether they're next door, in the next state, or in another country, who are just trying to do business. And if we can all move forward on that account, a lot of the problems, I think, would go away. So again, I hope you found this helpful. It's just another branding tip, something for you to think about that I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about. And until next time, this is Debbie LaChusa. Take care.